How did the move go? Any hiccups with moving your room? Hey Nintendo fans and collectors, Lithium here from my channel Nintendo Collecting, bringing you another entry into the Question Lithium series where I like to talk about and answer your questions Nintendo related or about my collection in general. John Russell asked the question, how did the move go and if there was any hiccups while I was moving? Thank you very much, John Russell, for your question via Twitter. So essentially, if you know about anything with my collection, you'll know that my old Nintendo room was at my parents' place. Throughout university, I kept my collection there. I didn't have a house to myself. Finally, I got married. I moved out. I'm able to have this new collection in a space, and I'm very proud of it, so that's awesome. So I'm going to talk about three major things. Number one, the plan that I had for the move. Number two, the perfect fit of a lot of items. Number three, making new things for the room, and at the end of the video I will talk about the one major hiccup that I had, or damaging one item. It was actually a Zelda item, so that was pretty unfortunate, but things are bound to go wrong when you move thousands of things like I have in this Nintendo space. So essentially, the plan for the room that I had is my first point. This room took me a long time to plan and design. You'll know that I might have a slight case of OCD the way everything looks because I want to be very particular in the way I display things, and that's the same thing with the planning process to try and make this look as good as I possibly could. So I actually took rough dimensions of this space before I moved in, and I was able to plan in Photoshop 4 different outlines of what the room could look like, and they all centered around one major thing, this giant couch. And a lot of you are saying you should probably reduce the size of the couch, get a different one. Well, to me, the priority is that I'm a gamer first and a collector second. I love sharing the gaming hobby with a lot of different friends. I love having them over to share my time with the Zeldathons and Mariothons. So this couch actually seats 6 to 8 people. I really wanted to have this as the focal point of the room so I could enjoy playing games. So I ultimately decided to put this actually in the middle of the room, kind of jutting out, because then I could maximize the wall space. The other really important part of the plan was to have a space for probably 3 to 4 different televisions. So over here you see I have a CRT TV, I also have an HD TV, then I have 2 other monitors I can use for gaming or for actually editing videos and also streaming on Twitch, I would hope. So 4 screens when I have friends over. We can do a lot on 4 screens if I have several people over. Play almost any Nintendo game you want, either cooperatively or on your own, which is pretty cool. So the plan was meticulous. I wanted to make sure everything fit. I wanted to figure out what items I can move over from my old collection, of course, like this NES coffee table that I'm very proud that I designed and painted myself. And there were some pieces of furniture that I could bring other than the couch, including my gaming shelves. So here's my entire collection of all of my games. So these shelves I did have at the previous Nintendo room, and I decided to bring them with me. They fit really well actually behind the door that I have right there. So those things came with me, as did the fridge that I'll get to in a minute as well. But part of the plan was to have furniture that is cohesive, it's all one idea, it all fits together, and that is espresso black, I guess, from IKEA. Most of the items are like that. So essentially, let's get to topic number 2. I wanted to buy new shelving so that everything matched, and I bought 8 of these shelves that you see right here with all of my collection of consoles, accessories, and controllers and things like that. 7 of them fit absolutely perfectly along that wall, all the way up until the kink in it, which I really didn't measure the shelves very well because they're 29.5 inches, all the way up to the kink of the wall works out beautifully, and the 8th shelf that I have right here for my Super Nintendo stuff, and also, of course, for some unplugged gaming like Monopoly, Zelda, and Mario Edition. Then I also have 2 other shelves that I bought that are half height shelves, I guess you could say, and that actually enabled me to make a Super Smash Bros. Section right here, which looks absolutely fantastic, so that's really cool. So those things fit perfectly, because if I actually open the door, it swings, and it beautifully just misses the shelf by a few inches. The other thing that fit in really well, fit in perfectly, was the Amiibo shelves that I have up here. When I was designing the room, Amiibo weren't incredibly popular quite yet, not a lot were out yet, but I knew that there'd be roughly 50 Amiibo for Super Smash Bros., and actually 50 Amiibo fit perfectly along this entire line. And these shelves I did buy from Target once they were closing, on sale again. There's thick plexiglass, they actually have screws here already that go into the wall. It's really awesome that these things fit so perfectly, all the way up to a fraction of an inch on the side of 20 feet. I didn't even measure the beam, that just worked out beautifully. All the other shelves around the room I found that are a little bit different than the other plexiglass. I put lights underneath them, they look outstanding, and that's actually housing my World of Nintendo figurines. There's a lot of those as well, so that's kind of a perfect fit. Another perfect fit was probably my fridge. This fridge was huge, I wasn't sure what to do with it, so I threw it in here. It's in the closet, it's still part of the space. I do need to finish this closet eventually, but it fits really well back here, into the closet, tucked away, out of the room, because it's such a gigantic piece of furniture in this space. So there's a lot of things that fit really well in the room, but there was definitely things I need to create new. So this is my point number 3, all the new things I wanted to build. I knew I'd have a lot of space here in the entrance of my collection, and I really wanted to have a circular table of some sort. I was thinking either a Pokeball, which I ended up doing right here as you see, but I was also thinking of a Super Nintendo table. I ultimately decided on the Pokeball because I thought that looks really cool and really neat. I also got obviously these different stools from Target that you can use. Another table that I designed was the Wii Remote table, so that one I needed new because with the move, I realized I had this gigantic kind of section here that you could walk through, but I really want to have different tables other than just the NES coffee table, the N64 table, and the GameCube table I do have over there as well. But the Wii Remote table was something I had in mind for a while, so this works out really cool, and you can still walk by with a few feet clearance, maybe 30 inches of clearance, so that's perfect, that's beautiful. Another thing I never talked about probably in my room tour, and there's a link in the description below the video to my room tour, was my Nintendo Power magazine collection. This thing is huge, there's 285 issues in total, I only have roughly 210, but on these shelves, the previous shelves just didn't fit. They didn't fit perfectly, it was too big, so I actually got these shelves again from Target on sale for $5 each. Now I can display my entire collection of Nintendo Power magazines once I get all of them. And again, this looks absolutely cool, it looks fantastic, it looks really good behind the couch because the back of the couch is pretty ugly. I was wondering what to do with that, so that works out really well. The other major new piece is this entire wall that you're looking at right over here actually. This entire wall, I want to thank my friend Andrew for helping me design. This is the espresso finish, it matches everything which is really cool. There's the Nintendo 64 display case that you do see over there which is new. There's also the GameCube display case and the Wii display case right there which looks fantastic as well. So that's really neat. In the middle of those is a hanging shelf. It's also called a floating shelf, I guess you could call it, with all my Mario collection of games, the main series anyways. And underneath that, I have a shelf of 6 different cubbies for the 6 major released Nintendo home consoles. There's also room underneath behind the chair there for more if I need it. So that's really cool. That all looks like one unit. There's also the desk kind of protruding out, which works so well. I can sit on the one side of the table, so I can actually sit on this side, or I can move over to the other side. So that's really awesome. That works really well. It's new stuff that I had to build, basically, and buy to put all together for this new Nintendo space. Another thing I made was, of course, this Amiibo display shelf. And I'm going to put all the characters in the order of their roster on the Wii U screen. They're mostly like that right now. Once I get all of them, it'll look really cool and fantastic. So this shelf I actually made and painted myself. Just bought some wood, put it together. So there was a lot of work to do. I had a plan. I bought a lot of new stuff. And a lot of things fit perfectly into the room. I was really pleased with the room and the move. I think it worked out really well. It took a lot of time. It was a lot of work. But ultimately, the move was worth it. And it looks fantastic in this new space. So now you're wondering, what Zelda item did I mess up? What Zelda item did I drop or possibly break or damage? And actually, the answer to that is one of the most expensive Zelda items that I have in terms of a game. And that is this, The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword limited edition set that comes with the Wii Remote, the Triforce on it, and also the Zelda Symphony. The items themselves were actually okay, but the box is damaged. You can see that there's a crease at the top there. You can also see that there's a crease along the side of the box. I damaged the top. You can see that it's definitely a little bit mangled, and that's really upsetting because this box set's actually worth quite a bit of money, but I'm in this collection usually to have for the rest of my life. When you damage something, it really sucks, but you just have to live with it. Perhaps I'll find a better item at some point to replace this with. So please comment below, have you ever damaged something in your collection and really regretted it? But it's alright, it's just an item, doesn't really matter in the long run. It still looks really good, especially if I display it like that beside my other gold Nintendo items. Thank you so much for your question, John Russell, about my move. I hope I answered everything that you were wondering. I really want to thank my friend Kevin, I want to thank my friend Jordan, Alex, and of course my friend Andrew for helping me out with the move. And last but not least, I've got to thank my wife for putting up with the Nintendo collection, for supporting it, and also actually being a part of it and loving Nintendo just the way I do. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to fill that like bucket, follow me on all the social media links in the description below the video, and remember, as always, go collect them all and keep smiling while gaming.